Hey guys, welcome to Home Squad Reviews. Today we're going to be assembling a trampoline. Stay to the end of the video where I'll be giving you my ratings on the quality of the product, as well as you'll be seeing the finished product. It took about 2.5 hours to assemble this product in real time, and so I had to edit like crazy to cut the time down as well as speed up the video somewhat. Let's get into it. Okay, so this is the first box, and in this box we have the springs as well as some connectors for the frame. In the second box we have the protective net and the poles that we would mount the protective net on. The third box still opening it, has the spring covers. You can see that this is just details on what is in the box, this paper. It also has the frame, some screws. Alright, here I'm laying out the frame on the ground where I will be installing the trampoline. I noticed that some of metallic powder was on my hand from touching the metallic frame. I'm now going to be connecting everything together using the connectors. Alright, the next step is to set up the legs. Now this trampoline comes with 3 legs, and you have to connect 2 extensions to the legs and secure it with screws and bolts. So I'll just be connecting everything, putting everything together, and then I'll be sealing it with the screws and bolts. And just remember to line up all the holes together, save you some time. Alright, now I'll be putting the screw through as well as using a washer and a bolt and tightening everything. Here's my daughter showing some spring art. Do the same thing on the opposite side. And I will do this now to all of the other legs. Screw through, washer and bolt. Alright, now I'm going to be putting on these legs onto the frame. Remember, you have to line up the holes, so I'm going to have to spin that around. My daughter will be helping me to add these legs. And you'll notice while I'm doing this, some parts of the frame will separate. It relies on the jumping area as well as the springs to keep everything together. So if this happens to you, you know exactly that is the reason. Okay, I'm putting the jumping area in the middle, making sure that I have the right side up. All those creases will be removed once we connect it to the frame using the springs. I'll now be securing the legs to the frame using screws and bolt. As you can see, my daughter seems to have a knack for these things. Now I'm just tightening all of the screws and bolts with the help of my daughter. Okay, next step, we're going to be putting on the jumping area. The first set of springs are pretty easy to add. Alright, now we're just adding on the rest of the springs. As you get halfway, it takes a little bit more to get those springs onto the frame. And I'll be just putting all of these on. Okay, at this point we're going to be putting on the spring covers. Now this trampoline is 10 feet with 8 feet jumping area. So now I'm going to be securing the cover onto the frame. I think they were like clips that just secures it easily. My wife decides to come and help and make sure that I'm actually doing it correctly. Okay, now it's time to put the poles up. So you'll see we use 2 screws, get them through the hole, and then we secure them with washers and bolts on the opposite side. This is done to the rest of the legs. Okay, now I'm going to be adding the top part of the poles. Now ideally, in hindsight, instead of adding the top parts of the poles at this point, I should have actually just pushed them into the security net and then add them to the lower poles thereafter. Okay, so what I'm doing now is I'm lining up the zip with the area that I want to be the entrance, and then I'm going to be putting it over the pole, over the 2 poles at the front. So you're going to see me do that right now. And then I continue to put the net over the other poles. Now at this point my daughter is extremely excited. She's going to start to jump without the safety net. I have to then remind her that she has to wait for the security net to be placed on before jumping. Okay, now I'm going to be creating the ladder. Simple, really just add screw, bolt, washer, and that's it. And once all of this is tightened up, then we're going to take it and add it to the trampoline. Okay guys, before I end the video, let's talk about the positives and the negatives of this trampoline. Let's start with the negatives. There are only 2. Right, and the first one is the number of screws that you have to use to assemble this trampoline. The previous trampoline that I owned, you pretty much just snap things in together, and that cut a lot of time and simplified the process of assembly. So that is something that this trampoline could actually improve on. Well, the makers of this trampoline could improve on. The next thing is the fact that I was seeing this powdery metal substance on my hand when touching the material, but I guess you could just wear gloves and then you'll get over that hurdle. The positive that I noticed was the build quality. It seemed to be sturdy. The looks as well, it looks very nice. The blue, black, and that yellow on the zipper. And my kids love it, so I have to give this one a thumbs up. Okay guys, if this video was helpful, please smash that like button. Subscribing would help me out a great deal. Let's get back to the video. You have to secure it on the frame of the trampoline, and we're done. myself.